Baby, when I tell y'all believe anything on the internet. And when I say anything, y'all believe any and everything. But anyway, since y'all believe that, my motherfucking landlord, I was at work today, and I already had told him that I was gonna have the rent by the end of the month. And he gonna send me a motherfucking eviction letter. When I came home, it was on my door. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I got my car repoed. Now he talking about an eviction? Damn, I don't know if this is a blessing from God. I don't know. This can't be no blessing. This is wow, guys. I've been staying here for 8 years. I had my car for 4 years. Like, Jesus, I am really trying, guys. It's not like I'm not trying. I don't know what I'm gonna do, y'all. We ain't gonna have no car or no house. Who can let us stay with them? Baby.
Well, she's right about one thing. It might be a blessing from God. It may not be the blessing you want, but it's what you need. Really put this into perspective for a second. Let me get this straight. You told your landlord that you'll have the rent money at the end of the month. So think about this. The rent is due on the 1st. She's saying she's going to have the rent on the 31st. Last month's rent, she'll have it by the end of the month. So last month's rent, she'll have it when it's time to pay the next month's rent. So then what happens with the next month's rent? When are you going to have that? Were you planning on paying double? No. So she's going to keep pushing this out and stretching this out and playing these games. And I don't blame the landlord for going ahead and taking legal action. Matter of fact, I'd have been appreciative. Thank you for letting me know. So I can go ahead and get this started right now. And you don't got me on pins and needles wondering. Ma'am, that's not how things work. And it really reveals the way you think to show that you think that that's acceptable. Which you see it also trickled down into the other area of your life because you also got your car repoed. Ultimately, what I think, like she said, the Most High is trying to show her is that she needs to get her affairs in order. And there's something that she needs to do that she's not doing. There's more within her. She's got more talents left that she's trying to bury and she's not using. Let's go ahead and get into the next clip, y'all. But before we do that, if you could like the video, I would greatly appreciate it. It only takes a second, and it actually does help me out more than you know. And also, thank you for all the support and engagement from last week. It actually showed very much. We had our biggest video that did 100K. So let's continue the momentum going. We got some fresh hypes this week. And also, if you could like the video as usual, I want to show my gratitude. Let's go ahead and get into the next clip.
The right side of TikTok. So basically, Section 8 is trying to kick me and my family out of our home. And yeah, so we moved into this townhome I'm currently in last year. And if you're wondering what I'm looking at my iPad so I can keep note. And to start off, we had plumbing problems like 5 times already, and it's not even a year that we've lived here. So now let's get into why I think that they're trying to kick us out of our home. So we contacted our caseworker. Her name is Kimberly Thomas. Yes, I'm saying her full name. And right off the bat of meeting her, we had noticed she had an attitude, and we tried to push past it. But at one point, she told us not to put something on our recertification packet. And we thought, oh, like she's trying to help, like she's, like she's girl's girl. She was not a girl's girl. No. We thought that because fast forward, she ups our rent and says she's doing so because my brother makes $3,000. So that's why we're like, okay, so she's not trying to help us at all. And the reason why she knows how much he makes a month is because we had to give her check stubs of my brother's job, and I had to give her like my pay of how much I get from the military. So she knows that I get like $1,300, and my brother was getting $3,000 a month, and so she was taking $400 of what she was taking $400 out of what I get paid. So she emailed my mom, like fast forward, she emailed my mom and told us that we have to pay $600 a month just to stay here in this townhome that we are having plumbing issues in anyway. And these townhomes are estimated at $300,000. So I don't know if she just doesn't want us to stay here. That's somewhere that's very nice. Like, you can see, like, it's a very nice place. Like, we upkeep it. Yeah. So, like I said, this is not our property. This is our landlord's property. And I don't know, he's a bit off to me because stuff keeps getting moved around and stuff. And, like, he's the only person that would have a key. So that's why I feel like he could be responsible for that. I'm not 100% sure, but I do know things keep getting moved around, touched, that we didn't move around ourselves. But anyway.
Everybody's off. Everybody's got something quirky, something wrong with them. I think you seem a little off to me, to be honest, because she mentioned that the caseworker or whatever the case, she thought she was a girl's girl, and I guess she thought she was going to work her magic and make the numbers do what it needed her to do, needed them to do. Ma'am, that's not how it works. That's why she asked for your pay stubs. There's a formula that goes into this, and she's not going to put her job at risk by that's basically fraud. She would be, in order for her to do what you're asking her to do, that would mean that she would have to fraudulently like change some numbers. People have this same mindset when it comes to taxes as well. Like, they think that you can just go take these paperwork back there and make them numbers happen so that I get what I need. Y'all, it doesn't work like that. It's not magic. If somebody's telling you they're magically going to get you these tax returns at the end of the year, et cetera, then you should be worried, because they're probably doing something fraudulent on your paperwork that you'll ultimately be responsible for when it's all said and done. They could change careers, do something completely different, not even be in taxes anymore by the time it gets exposed. But you'll be sitting there holding the bill, as well as ultimately the repercussions.
Back on track. So we're already paying out for groceries every month. That's $400. Then I'm paying insurance for our car. And we're all contributing together, but it takes a big chunk of out of our change, like the stuff and bills that we're already paying, such as the Wi-Fi, phone bill, car insurance, car note. The car note is already $450. Like, and then also we paid for an SR22. Also, keep in mind, my brother, even though he makes $3,000 a month, it fluctuates. So he doesn't just outright makes $3,000. So yeah, he doesn't outright make that same amount every single month. So he does welding. So in the wintertime when they're welding, they don't make as much. Why they don't make as much, I don't know. He just said basically they don't really have anything to weld. Like, there's nothing to really do. Like, he'll come home and he'll be like, I literally just swept the floor for like 5 or 6 hours. And we're like, huh? He's like, yeah, I just swept the floor and did nothing the entire day. Just BS the whole entire shift, basically. And it's not his doing. It's just, that's just how it is. I don't know if it's for every welder in every state or if it's different for different states. Like, I have no clue. But for us, we're based out of Georgia, and so when he welds, he does not outright make $3,000 every single month. It's different. So then on top of this, we tried to see about moving to a place, and this was another townhome that looks just as nice as these, and it's in Lilburn, Georgia. And basically they told us that it was $1,700 and that if we meet the requirements, so that's fine, we can get the place. So we applied. Well, we tried to apply, and we called them today. Well, no, not today, yesterday. Sorry. And they told us that it would have to be 3 times that, the $1,700. So we're like, huh? Like, what do you mean? And so they explained it. We would have to be paying out $6,000 so that we can stay there. And my mom said that doesn't make sense because you can't even be on the program at all, or let alone be qualified while even making that much. So it's just really not making any sense.
Oh, no.
And the reason I'm making this video is to see if anyone else is going through the same thing, because like I said, I'm based out of Atlanta. So like, in the comments, can y'all let me know if any of you have gone through this, and if so, like, what did you do? And also, we reported the caseworker, Miss Kimberly Thomas.
Oh, wow.
And told them that basically she had an attitude with us, because basically she was looking at us when we first met her like this, like, like looking down on us, and I thought that was really weird. And so like I said, we tried to push past it, and we're like, oh, like maybe like she is trying to help, whatever. Not trying to help at all. And she was just really rude. And so also throughout this process, we tried to email her like several times. She did not say anything to us or correspond with us in any type of way, let alone the landlord. And later said she was on a break or vacation all of a sudden after upping our rent, and then relayed the wrong information to our landlord, telling him that we wanted to terminate and basically, I guess, move away or something like that. And that's not at all what we said. We wanted to see if we could lower the rent and we could work through it and like figure something out, but no. So that is where we are at this point in time. So praying that.
I'm concerned for this young lady, and I'm concerned for her and her brother, because what I was gonna say is that they actually seem like they have their heads on decently, and that they actually have a pretty nice upward trajectory if they can just stay on point and stay on their path and don't get diverted. Because I think I heard her say she's in the military and her brother is a welder. So they're already on the right track, in my opinion. But what's happening now is they're getting caught up in all these benefits, which it clearly seems like they really don't need it. And then how you know they don't need it is because look what the mom said. You can tell how young she is, how green she is, because she didn't even know in most places when you're renting, you have to make 3 times the rent and you have to be able to show that reported on your W-2s. But what did she say? Her mom told her. Her mom told her, "Oh, no, 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 that's not going to work, because if you make 3 times the rent, you'll no longer be on the program." So do you see how they can get lost in the sauce real quick over poor tutelage, right? Poor guidance. When they're actually on the right track, then here comes their mom actually telling them something that is counterintuitive, as well as look how she's going out here in the world and treating people. The reason why because she said at first the caseworker seemed like a girl's girl, so they were vibing. They were able to connect. But then what probably happened is just like she's doing right now, she started probably because she got comfortable being more transparent with the caseworker on some of the things she's trying to do, and basically trying to get the caseworker to, one, risk her job, two, risk her freedom, and basically defraud on your behalf when you really don't need it, when we really look at all the numbers and the figures. So that's probably why her perception of you changed and you felt it, because you basically made it clear that you're trying to defraud something, and she's at work right now and she knows where this money comes from. She changed her perspective of you like how I changed it after I'm hearing what you're trying to do. But I feel like it's not necessarily your fault, because it's clear that, you know, Darth Sidious has their, hands on you and they're influencing you, right? So, she's a grown woman, but at the same time, we can't deny that, it's possible that she's getting poor advice. But I hope she can stay on track, because it sounds like she and her brother are on the right track if they can just stay focused and they don't start getting reliant on this system that is only going to serve to cripple them.
I heard you want to move to Houston or Dallas or Austin or San Antonio, but the waiting list isn't open. I'm going to give you small cities that are in Texas that you can transfer your voucher once you get approved. Now, don't sleep on the smaller cities. I know everybody doesn't want to stay in a small town. They really want to go for the big cities. But if you need help getting into a housing list and getting approved faster, these Section 8 waiting lists are now open and taking applications. You don't have to stay in Texas. If you want to move here, apply to one of those waiting lists. You can apply to as many as you want to. Don't worry. I'm going to give you the cities and the links and how to apply. And if you're new here, my name is Chunky. I'm your cousin that helps you make a way.
Basically, what she's trying to do is, isn't this crazy? Leave the places with all the jobs, right? Leave the city where you'll have the most job opportunities, and the greatest chance to work, and come to these other smaller places where the competition is lower on the waiting list, and you'll get put in the house, and there ain't gonna be no jobs around there anyway. This is insane. We're gonna leave it there for today, though. Again, thank everybody for all the engagement last week. If you could like, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you could hype the video. Hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where basically it pushes smaller content creators like myself. And the more you hype, the more it pushes us to the capacity that it pushes the larger content creators. And we saw what it was able to do last week. We had tremendous growth. And also, I have another honorable mention that I want to do here. I want to thank somebody who it looks like sent like a, I guess it's called a super chat or something like that. And I didn't even know I was eligible to receive that. But it's good practice to give the shout outs. So I want to give a shout out to Light Chaser 2021. That was my first ever super chat. I didn't even know I signed up for it. So I greatly appreciate that. And yeah, also Patreon's link below if you want to see self-improvement content. But until then, I'll catch you all in the next video.